What's up, everyone? Dave here, Black Label Painting. So back again. Haven't recorded shit in forever. So I figured instead of talking about it, I'll just be about it. I'll just fucking record some shit and get it on. I've been working on some Reaver Titans for a little while. I've got some I've got to finish up this month. 4 to be exact. Anyways, so I've been working on knocking these Titans out. I've been doing some metal work, and I started doing my weathering of my brasses and my golds, and I realized I never really created a video for that. So why the hell not? So here we are. You'll notice in this picture here, if I can get it to zoom, of course not. It's not gonna. I'm gonna play with the camera. I'm gonna move the camera, move you all over here. Sorry, my studio is a mess. It's a complete and total disaster. Everything's been neglected. It's terrible. I'm a terrible human being. All right, here we go. Getting her down. Getting her down. I'm not all professional like everybody else. All right. Notice how I've got the weathering on my. This is the gold here. It looks pretty like beat up and just like blah. It's beat to shit. Now, kind of like this, kind of along the lines of the same technique I use with my metals. If you remember my metal video, so here's one in brass. There's one I did with brass. So I got 2 more to do. And I's are going to show you how to do it. As soon as I finish with this camera. Playing around with it. Making y'all dizzy and shit. All right. So first up, copper. Now again, this is just I did do 2 thin coats. 2 thin coats. I did do 2 thin coats of the brass. The brass that I use, actually, you know what? This one's the one that I use, the P3 color, molten bronze. I got another one I'm going to do. It'll be doing brass. So I'll be doing 2 of these to show you how I do it. That way, if you miss it the first go around, you can catch it on the second one. All right. So real simple. I only use a few colors. I got a very limited palette on this. I will be spraying P3 streaking grime through an airbrush. I highly, 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 highly recommend you do this in a very ventilated area. Speaking of which, give me a second to open the window right here because I don't want to suffocate. There we go. All right. So we got that all set up. The airs are flowing. We're doing good. All right. This has already been pre-reduced. I reduced it all when I put it in the the jar. So we're reduced and good to go. I'm going to pour a little bit more than what I would need in there just because I'm going to be doing 2 of them. Get my little handy dandy turntable here. It'll help with the angle so y'all can see a little better, I hope. I'm going to make sure and back this up a little bit more. Okay, it's already all the way up. There we go. All right. Kind of need to get it up a little higher. Okay, but anyways, I'm going to spray it on there. 50-50 mix of streaking grime. Spray it on there. Let it sit for a second. Don't hammer it on there. You don't want it to run. You just want to get good solid coverage. See? Good solid coverage. Let that sit for a minute. In this case, I'm going to fire up the old hair dryer, speed the process up, and blow the fumes out the window. This step-by-step how-to is brought to you by Revlon. All right, so I'll get that to dry. Once I get it to where it's flashed over pretty good, then I will move on to the next stage, which that's pretty good. I will also say that I did seal this before I sprayed it with the streaking grime. me try to rearrange this a little bit more. Almost feel like it's... And one day I'll get professional. All right, there we go. So I got it on. It's all flashed over and dried. Now, what I'm going to do in this instance, I'm going to take my old funky rag. You got to have an old funky rag. You know, boxers, I've been told, are the perfect thing for this, Michael. Ain't that right? Anyways, so I'll take this old rag, and I will splash a little bit of white spirits on it. Just a tad, just enough to get on there. Like that right there, okay? Now, it's important the way you do this. Drag it down. Just like staining wood, you're going to one direction, let it go down. That pulled a little bit of the excess off. That just, all that did was just peel back a very thin layer of the streaking grime. As you can see, still some in the shadows and the recesses. That's perfect. That's what we want. Now, I'm going to hit this with the air dryer again, just to dry the white spirits up. All right, next stage. I'm going to go from a molten bronze. So my next stage will be, where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Right there. Will be runic gold. All these are P3 paints that I'm using because I fucking love P3 paints. God, they're so good. Where is my, there it is. The brush that I need is over here soaking in the water. All right, now this is a very old technique I'm going to be showing you now. It's from the dawn of painting miniatures. It's called a Lee dry brush. All right. So now what you're thinking, you're like, dry brushing? What the hell? Who dry brushes anymore? Well, I do. Still a technique that you can use and is very good and very handy, especially for achieving this look. Now, I'm just going to keep my motions, my brush motions, uniform downward. Don't want solid coverage. You just want a little bit here, a little bit there. On to the other side. Take normal dry brush and you want to remove as much of the paint as possible. You just got a little bit of pigment left. That's all you need. Voila. I really need to upgrade to a 4K camera. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use my patronage money this month to buy a 4K camera. Just so that it can get a little better. Okay. That's one layer. Now I'm going to come in with the final layer. I'm going to use brass balls. Now, depending upon the color, you know, I wouldn't take it any higher than this as far as the highlights. The next one I'll do, I'm just going to do brass balls and that's it. Because I did a dark, really like a dark brass base. Okay, so we're going to go and just come across the top. Mainly in the sections that is going to catch a lot of light. That area right there, of course, with the reflection. I'll post pictures of these as well, so you can see what I'm talking about. But this is just how simple it is to get this look. You're just going to go over the raised areas where you're getting light. Again, just dry brushing. I do a lot of airbrushing, but also do a lot of dry brushing. It's a technique that you would really never get away from. I mean, you can use it in multiple applications. All right, so that's that. That's the, my finished look before I start to bring it down. Bring it down. That's the correct term. Where's my other brush? There it is. Okay, now here's another simple step. I'm going to use the GW Nylock Oxide. I'm probably saying that all completely wrong, but it's all good. And the way I'm going to do it, you guys know how partial I am to sponges. Well, I just got a big old piece of battle foam sponge lying around here. I'm going to use that in this process. Let's see if I can't get up on this a little bit better, get a little bit better angle, that way y'all can see what the hell I'm doing. Okay. So straight out of the pot, just circle a rivet, do a couple of them, 2 or 3 of them, and then pick up the sponge and drag down. That's really all there is to it. Now you got to look at this stuff. This oxidation is, when it's getting rained on, or it's just whatever, it's just wet, it's going to run down. So creating those little streaks is what you want. In this shadowy area here, why not? Look at that. Just zoop and drag it down. Around this. Sorry, fighting a cold. Straight down. Gist of it, it's super simple. It looks really good. Looks way better in person than what you're seeing on the screen. I guarantee you that. I will post pictures. Look at that shit. That's what I'm talking about. Hell yeah. Now, with this whole run right here, I'll just wipe the whole run and then drag it down. As crazy with this shit as you want, as long as you wipe off the excess. I mean, look how it's toned down that gold tremendously. Just got to get some more spots over here. Now, again, I'm going to do I'm going to do the other side, and then I'm going to do the hip joint of a whole nother one. can see how much difference that makes. Again, let's go for the other side. I'll do a bunch of them this time. You don't want to get too far ahead because this stuff really does not need to dry. You need to wipe it off when it's still wet. Again, I'm going to run some of them through this crease. Really important that you wipe off the excess when it's still wet. And get cocky. Try to do this whole, hey, it worked. All right. Look at that. That looks awesome. Now I will seal these once I'm done with this stage. And you'll see how freaking quick and easy this is. It's not very hard at all. And this nolic oxide, it does a really good job of bringing down your brass or your gold whenever you brought it up with the dry brush highlights. This stuff will knock it way back down. It looks awesome. Boom. You can also fill this crack in right here. I mean, it ain't gonna hurt nothing. Looks really cool. Do the same to the other side. Super simple. All right, now let me do something else. This out. I'll bring you guys back in line with some of the other goodies that I do. Some more weathering using my favorite tools. The oil brushers from MIG. Okay. Now, I just noticed that I didn't. All right, I'm going to bring this area. I didn't really spray any on this lower parts of metal, so I'm going to have to show you the what I was going to show you on the other one, because those need to dry. Not a huge deal. you can forget things and keep rolling right on through it. Ideally, you want to do everything in the same stage, but not a big deal. I'll let this dry, and then I'll grab the other one. I got to do it. So I'll bring all that metal that I just hit with the streaking grime. I'll bring all that back down as well. Oh, bring it up, rather. This is what I was going to show you. Well, let me go ahead and hit this because I got to get this copper covered. I typically like when I've got a bunch of Titans to do, especially these reavers. If I got multiple reavers, then I like to batch out all the metal work. It just makes it easier for me. I'll separate all the panel work in. All going to be different. All four of them completely different. There. I'll show you a different way on this one. I like to show multiple ways of doing the same thing, but this will look really cool. I'll use the sponge to highlight and bring this brass back up. Only using one color, it'll be the same color that I use for the base. So just sit tight for a sec. All right. So using the game color that I used for the base, it's brassy brass. Put a little bit of that on my palette. And I'm going to use a sponge because why not? Now, sponging, just like dry brushing, get it on there and then wipe the majority of it off. Now, I'm going to use a crisscross pattern on this to make it look like it's scratched in certain directions and such. Now, I'm just lightly hitting this. Bringing it up. All right, so all right, now I'm going to, I got a brighter brass around here somewhere. I don't know what the hell I did with it. Use this copper. Flying by the seat of my pants. I like it. I'm going to use some copper coin from Minotaur Air. That shit's like, that's I don't know, that's kind of dark. Experimenting. Yeah, that is. There we go. That brought it a different direction for sure. Okay. There's my base on my color. And then I'll just come back in and do the Nalock oxide again. I almost feel like I need to hit that with one more highlight. You know what? Of this GW. No, I'm not. Never mind. That shit's been sitting there for a long while. I'm going to try brassy brass on it. I'm going to experiment when you guys are on here. Fuck it. Right out of the damn lid. There we go. That's some good bright shit. All right, let's get that off my fingers. Yeah, that's good. Just a little bit, I only care about the top because that's where the natural lighting would hit it. I'm gonna do a little bit more experimenting. I'm gonna hit it with fucking streaking grime again, except I'm gonna rip it right off, not even let it dry. Go back and forth. Oh, sweet baby Jesus, that looks good. That brought it way back down. I mean, that right there. You can't see it on the camera, but that looks just like a damn penny. I'm talking a consistency of like an 1990 printed penny or something. Something old, but not too terribly old. There we go. Let's rip it right off. Leaving all that shit in the cracks. Great. 4K camera is going to be a nice investment. Hopefully it'll catch all this. All right. So from there, I'm going to let that dry. And then I'm going to do what I was going to do on the other one when I noticed that I forgot to, damn it, something a little taller to rest on. Okay. Watch me right there. Using the MIG oil brusher. And I'm just going to put a couple little drops up there. And then more sponge because I like the sponge. Pour it in there. And then I'm going to take this and rip it down. Ripped it a little too far. Try to be cocky. All right, let's do this again. There we go. That's the look I was going for. That rusted look. Oh, you can see that. And all battle beaten. All right, now let's finish up this. Oh, right on the camera. Y'all see that? Oh well, fuck it. It's only $13 a bottle. Oh no, it's $7 a bottle. So your patronage is greatly appreciated. That's what happens when you get in a hurry. All right. Let's go ahead and put the lid on this right now. Do that shit again. Man, that looks good. All right, so Nalak oxide, here we go. I'm gonna get rid of these sponges because some of them are full of white spirits. New sponge. Start right here. Now remember, this stuff will it'll further weather and tone down the bright copper. So it's perfect when it gets on there. You ain't got to be all perfect with it. As you can see, I'm just slopping the shit on there because I'm removing the majority of it. Just a little bit that's left behind is all I need. It really is just as easy as that. As putting it on and wiping it off. One side done. One to go. Man, these things look really good. Sitting here looking at all four of these things as hips. Can't wait to start laying paint on the panels and really start to moving along on them. Had these things for about a month. I've just been so busy with other things not related to painting. I started up another little business and it's been kicking my teeth in a good way. Look at that. I really hope this shows up as good on the camera. Like I said, depending on how my upload goes this month, I'm really going to aim for 4 uploads just to give you guys a heads up. So really going to aim for 4 video uploads this month. And that'll help me get that new 4K camera. I'll just pay the difference out of my pocket. So that way you guys can get some better content. Clear content, maybe. For the longest, I thought it was my freaking internet. Well, not my internet. My internet's pretty good. Oh, yeah. Don't forget this. Yoop. Just like that, folks. It's done. So I'll get all 4 of them over here for you to kind of gander at. Well, I guess 2 of them. See if I can get 3 of them. 3 of them to fit. Yeah, there we go. And there's a 4th. All beat up, weathered, nasty is the name of the game. All right. I hope you guys have learned something from this. I am going to leave her at that. Let me get this. So I hope you guys learned something from this. That was my goal. It's always my goal. So just a heads up, more content uploading this month. I'm going to try to at least do 3 more. This was a short. I say short. I don't even know how long it's going. This will be the short one. I'll try to keep them under an hour, just because it's a lot to watch. A lot of people ain't got an hour just to sit there and do nothing. So keep an eye out for the next one. Not sure what it's going to be just yet. Maybe some stencil work, because I got to do some stencil work. But all right, guys, we're going to end it there. I appreciate y'all. Thanks for coming along, and see y'all in the next.